This unit we are going to talk about web applications in detail and some security features. Security features while we are using internet and some security features while we are working with computers in laboratory in the physical atmosphere also. The first session is working with accessibility options. These are the options for those people who are having some physical problem. Those who are not a regular person, they are physically handicapped. So how they can work with computers. Then we'll talk about some fundamentals of networking, how we connect computers. Then we will have introduction of instant messaging or messenger services. We will study how we can chat with a contact on Google Talk. We will study how we can create and publish web pages. These are journals called blogs. How we can use offline blog editors. Khomana is one offline blog editor. We will study about online transactions or buying something online. We will study about some internet security tips. We will study how we can maintain safety at the workplace, means in laboratory or in computer factory where we are working, how we can prevent accidents and emergencies, and how we can protect the health of the workers and their safety at work. So the first session is working with accessibility options. See, those people who are healthy, who are having all the senses like eyes, ears, hands, everything working properly, they don't have any problem in using computer. But there are some people who have some accessibility problem. Easily they cannot use the computer. So computer accessibility for them refers to the user friendliness of the computer system for all the people, whether they are a regular healthy person or if they have some disability. So regardless of their disability, if the computer system is friendly for them, then this is computer accessibility. This is mainly a software issue. Accessibility feature is part of the software because everything, monitor and keyboard will be the same. But softwares can be enhanced to make them more accessible. However, when a combination of hardware and software is there, it enables a person with a disability or any impairment, like they don't have eyes, they have eye problem, they have any other problem. So if they have any disability or impairment, they can also use the computer. For example, in ATMs you will see that you can attach one headset and you can listen to it also if you have hearing problem. So here we have hardware and software both, which are enabling the person to know something, to use the computer. This is known as assistive technology. These technologies are called assistive technology. In this session, we will learn about basic accessibility options which are available on our computer. There are numerous types of impairment or numerous types of disability that impact the usage of computer for so many people. These can include cognitive impairments and learning disability. For example, dyslexia is one problem. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, also called autism. So here someone is not able to read clearly. So this is cognitive impairment and learning disability. Some people have visual impairment. Some have low vision, they are not able to see properly. Either they are completely or partially blind, or sometimes they are color blind, they cannot see color properly. Some people are having hearing impairment, for example deafness, they are not able to hear properly. Motor or dexterity impairment, For example, paralysis, cerebral palsy, carpal tunnel syndrome, repetitive strain injury means they have physical problem. Sometimes their hands shiver, they are not able to work properly on the keyboard or mouse. So for these types of four types of impairment, that is cognitive impairment, visual impairment, hearing impairment, and motor or dexterity impairment. For these four types of impairment or problems, we have accessibility options in the control panel. So this accessibility option in control panel are used to customize the way our keyboard, our display or mouse function. We can customize these things, keyboard, display or mouse, with respect to the disability. So many of these features are useful for people who have disabilities. There are four types of disabilities, we have discussed them. So in this session we will learn how to use accessibility options in Windows XP. How to launch the accessibility option. To launch the accessibility option in Windows XP, we have to click Start and then Control Panel and then Accessibility. These accessibility features, whatever operating system we are using, will be there in the control panel. So when you will click on Start, then Control Panel and then Accessibility Options, this accessibility options window will appear. Here we have the first thing, sticky keys. Sticky keys is an accessibility feature to help computer users with physical disabilities. But it is also used by others to reduce repetitive strain. We will study about it, what is the meaning of this. So sticky keys allows the user to press and release a modifier key, for example shift key, control key, alt key or Windows key, and have it remain active until any other key is pressed. When we usually work with modifier keys like shift, so for suppose we use shift plus alphabet, then alphabet will be in capital. When we use control, so control plus S to save, control plus C for copy, control plus V for paste. Alt is also used, alt plus F4 to close any application, or Windows keys are also used, Windows plus functions are also there. So we have to press them and then again we have to press any other key. But for those people who cannot press two keys at the same time, we have this option, sticky keys. To enable sticky keys, you have to select sticky keys, click on apply and then select OK. The sticky keys icon will appear in the system's tray. After having enabled these sticky keys, we can practice and see its effect. So we will open Notepad, and for Notepad you know very well we have to click on Start, then All Programs and Accessories and then Notepad. We have to type some text, suppose 3 to 4 lines there, and place the cursor at the beginning of the text. We have to press Control key on the keyboard and then letter A. So for Control A, we know that Control A means select all. So we'll press Control key and then we will press letter A. Previously we had to use both the keys at the same time, Control plus A, but now we are using them one by one. The entire text will get selected. This action is totally equivalent to pressing Control plus A simultaneously. So now if you want to disable these sticky keys, you have to uncheck, use sticky keys, and then we have to do the same thing, apply and then OK. Next is filter keys. Filter keys is a feature of Microsoft Windows. It is also an accessibility function that tells the keyboard to ignore brief or repeated keystrokes. those people whose hands are shaking, what happens, they press the same key 2 or 3 times because of their shaking hands. So for them typing is very much tough. So it makes typing easier for those people who are having hand tremors, those people whose hands usually tremor. So if you press the same key multiple times, then also computer will ignore. That is filter keys. To enable filter keys, we have to check use filter keys. Click settings under this option filter keys, and we have to check ignore repeated keystrokes. Ignore repeated keystrokes and then apply and then OK. The filter keys icon will appear in the system's tray. You can see. Now after having enabled filter keys, we will now practice and see its effect also. Same thing, we will start notepad and we will type some repeated characters. We will see that these repeated characters, suppose KK multiple times, will be ignored. Now to disable the filter keys, we have to uncheck use filter keys, and then again we have to do the same thing, apply and then OK. Toggle keys. Toggle keys is also a feature of Microsoft Windows. It is also an accessibility function. It is used for people who have vision impairment or those who are having cognitive disabilities like dyslexia or autism. When toggle keys are turned on, computer emits sound cues. When the locking keys like caps lock, number lock or scroll lock are pressed, a high sound is emitted when the keys are switched on and a low sound is emitted when they are switched off. So you can hear the sound because you have vision impairment. So to help you, we have this option. To enable the toggle keys, we have to check use toggle keys option. And then we have to click settings under toggle keys, and then we have to apply and then OK. The same process that we had applied. Now having enabled toggle keys, you can see its effect by using any one of the keys like number lock, caps lock or scroll lock. You will notice that when you will do so, you will hear a beep. To disable the toggle keys, you have to uncheck use toggle keys and then click on apply and then OK. Sound tab. Select the sound tab. A window with options to configure accessibility option for sound is displayed. You can see this. Sound tab is selected, and now a window with options to configure accessibility options for sound is shown. Sound Sentry. Sound Sentry is designed to help users with auditory impairments. Those who are not able to listen, Sound Sentry is for them. Sound Sentry generates visual warnings. For example, means it is shown. For example, blinking title bar or flashing the border whenever the computer generates a sound. So instead of the beep, we have the flash for the eyes. To enable Sound Sentry, we have to check use Sound Sentry under the Sound tab. Here we can see this one. Doing so activates a drop down list where from you can choose the types of visual warning that you want. Click on apply and then click on OK. For understanding Sound Sentry, you have to create an error. So first start and then run, and here type note instead of notepad and press enter. Type some repeated characters in the notepad. You will notice that desktop will flash for a fraction of a second along with visual error sound code. So along with the sound, it will show you a flash also because you are doing some mistake. To disable the sound sentry, you have to uncheck use sound sentry and then you have to click on apply and then OK. Show sounds. Show sounds instructs applications that convey information by sound. So these applications are conveying the information by sound. So those who are having hearing impairment, they will have problem. So they are asked to also provide information visually through text captions or information icon. To enable show sound, we have to check use show sound. Under the sound tab, we will have this, and again we have to click apply and then OK. Display tab. We have to select the display tab. Previously we had selected the sound tab. Now we have selected the display tab. A window will appear with options to configure the accessibility options for display. First one is use high contrast. High contrast is accessibility feature for those who are having vision impairment, those who cannot see properly. So you can change the size and color of the fonts. Those who are not able to see properly without spectacles, they can also use. Those who are having color blindness, they can also use it. So we can change the size and color of the font and the background so that they can easily view it. To enable high contrast, we have to again check use high contrast, this one. In all the options we have checked it to use the feature either from keyboard or sound or any other. Now under the display tab we have to click OK and then apply and then OK. Now you will see a difference on your monitor when you will apply the high contrast option. To disable the high contrast option, you have to uncheck it. This one, use high contrast option, you have to uncheck and then apply and then OK. Same process. Cursor options. Cursor options is also an accessibility feature. It helps the people with vision impairment, those who are not able to see properly. It changes the blinking rate of the cursor and width of the cursor. To change the speed of the cursor blink, we have to move the blink rate slider back and forth, and you will see the cursor will start blinking at various speeds. To change the width of the cursor so that it becomes bigger, so that people can view it, we can move the width slider back and forth and you will notice the cursor is changing. Mouse tab. Mouse keys is also an accessibility feature. It assists people who have difficulty using a mouse. So if you are not able to use mouse properly, suppose you have shivering hands, then you can use mouse. You cannot use mouse properly. So this option uses keyboard, especially numeric keypad, as pointing device instead of using mouse. So we have to select the mouse tab. A window will appear to configure accessibility options for mouse. To enable mouse keys, we have to just select this, use mouse keys, and then again same thing, apply and then OK. You will see the mouse key icon in the system tray, it will appear. Now you can easily use number pad keys for moving mouse pointer instead of using mouse. After you enable the use mouse keys, so you can use the number keys to move the cursor up, down, left, right. So 4 to move left, 6 to move right, 2 to move down and 8 to move up. Now if you don't want to use it, you have to disable it. To disable mouse keys, you have to uncheck use mouse keys and then you have to click on apply and then OK. General tab. This tab enables you to configure the accessibility options for all users. If they are having visual impairment or hearing impairment, motor impairment, or any other problem. So we have to select the General tab. A window will appear to configure additional accessibility options. So there are some options that will come. Turn off accessibility features after idle for how much time. Okay, if you want to turn off the accessibility features, suppose after 10 minutes, after 1 hour, that you can do. Give a warning message when turning a feature on. When someone is turning one accessibility feature, then should it display any warning message. Sometimes by mistake also we do this, so it should display a warning message. And whether you want to make a sound when turning a feature on or off. Now we'll check these features one by one and see what happens. So you will just select it and then you will see what happens. Next we have serial keys. Serial keys is also an accessibility feature that helps people with disability, that helps people that have difficulty using keyboard or mouse, or they have difficulty using both. So they can use some special devices, for example sip, puff, breathe switches, to provide input to the computer through serial ports. Here you can see a user is controlling a device using a sip and puff switch. So if they are not able to use both keyboard and mouse, so they can give input through different special devices. For example, sipping on the tube will activate one device, while puffing on the same tube will activate another. So this is sip and puff switch that will help the user to activate any device. What we have to do, we have to apply all settings to log on desktop. It can be used to apply configured accessibility options to this user at login. And apply all settings to default for new users can be used to apply configured accessibility options to all users using a particular computer. So how we can do this, we can see. So we saw so many things: sticky keys, sound sentry, high contrast, serial keys. These we can try. Okay, I cannot show you because I'm not using Windows XP. Next is networking fundamentals. We have studied networking in previous classes also, how we can connect multiple computers together. How can we connect them? When we connect multiple computers together, it is called network. So a computer network is a collection of computers and some other hardware components, like for example cable, modem, interconnected by communication channel. Communication channel can be wireless also or wired. If it is wireless, then we will use Wi-Fi or satellites or any other method like infrared. And when we are using it wired, it will be used using cable. Cables can be LAN cable, it can be different types of other cables are there that allow sharing of resources and information. Resources means sharing of hardware, information means sharing of files. So this session will introduce us to the basic fundamental concepts of networking and internet and using different types of internet connection. Networks are designed using different architecture. There are two types of architecture. One is called peer-to-peer architecture and one is called client-server architecture. Let's see them in detail. Networks in which all the computers have an equal status are called peer-to-peer network. Every computer will be called a peer, and if all the computers have the same value, have the same status in the network, then it is called peer-to-peer network. Peer-to-peer, computer-to-computer network. Generally, in such a network, each terminal means each computer, each peer has an equally competent CPU. Means every computer CPU is same. Means we have the same computer, same types of computers. Every computer's feature and resources are same, and we are connecting them. Client server architecture. In this client server architecture, we have a special computer that is having big capacity, high computing power, that is called server, and other computers which are connected to it are called client. So networks in which certain computers have special dedicated task means they have big capacity for doing different types of tasks. For example, providing services to other computers. Those computers are called client computers. So if client computer asks for any data, then the data will be given by the server computer. So these types of networks in which we have one big computer which serves all the other client computers is called client server architecture. The computers which provide services are called server, and the computers that use these services, ask for these services, are called client. Types of network. There are so many types of network. We are going to study about only two types of network. There are two major types of network, that is local area network called LAN and wide area network called WAN. Wide area network is our internet, and when we connect computers in a school or in a small space, it is called LAN, local area network. Wi-Fi is also wireless LAN. So local area network. A local area network, also called LAN, is one in which we connect computers and devices in a limited geographical area, in a very small geographical area: home, school, computer laboratory, lab, office building, or closely positioned group of buildings. Buildings are there, multiple buildings, but they are very close to each other. Usually local area networks offer very high speed and are used for connecting computers with their peripheral devices like printers and scanners. Suppose I have 10 computers in my lab and I don't want to purchase scanner and printer for all of these computers. So what I will do, I will connect all of these computers together and I will connect one printer. So all of these computers can give print to that printer because of this network called LAN. Wide area network is one which covers a very broad area. Network that links metropolitan cities, one region like a state like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, or national boundaries like India. So the internet is actually the most popular WAN. WAN is actually internet and is used by businesses, government, non-profit organizations, individual customers like us, artists, entertainers, and so many people. So wide area network is actually interconnection of all the computers all over the world. No boundaries of metropolitan city, no boundaries of any region or any national boundary. So let's talk about internet. The internet is a global system of interconnected computer networks that use the standard internet protocol called IP. IP protocol to serve billions of users. Internet protocol is a way to transfer data. We will see how data is transferred in this unit only. So it is a network of multiple networks. So we can say multiple LANs combined together is called WAN or internet. It is a network of networks that consist of millions of private network, public network, academic network, business networks, government networks. Internet is one of the most useful technologies today of modern times, which help us in our daily personal professional life. We are usually using it daily. Everyone is using it daily. Internet is widely used by students, education institutions, scientists, professionals to gather information for research and general information. Businesses use the internet to access complex databases, for example, financial databases, for taking financial decisions. The internet is also the largest encyclopedia for all age group people. If you want to study anything, you can get it from internet. The internet helps in maintaining contact with friends and relatives through different options like email, messenger, video conferencing who live across different locations via internet chatting systems, emailing software. We can do this. Internet is also becoming a major source of entertainment for general public. We can watch videos using internet. World Wide Web, abbreviated as WWW or W3, commonly called as web, is a system of interlinked hypertext document accessed via the internet. There's a difference between the internet and World Wide Web. Internet is actually computers connected together only. And when we connect documents so that it can be viewed, so the rules and regulations for showing document online in the internet atmosphere is actually WWW. So it is a system of interlinked document, and most of the documents are HTML document which we can access via the internet. So the rules and regulations about how to create these internet documents or HTML documents and how to show them in the browser is actually World Wide Web. So with a web browser like Chrome or Mozilla, one can view web pages. These web pages contain sometimes text, images, videos and other multimedia and other videos and other things, and we can navigate between them using the hyperlink. We have to click on the hyperlink and it will take us to another web page. So all of these informations are saved in this server called web server, and these web servers give data in the form of HTML files to the client computers, those who ask for it. So information is stored on web servers, and these information are in the form of web pages, and these are retrieved by using a web browser like Firefox or Chrome on the local computer, means the client computer. Web browser, we know very well, is a software used to view websites because it can ask for the document from the server computer and it can decode the HTML code and show us a web page. So a web browser used to view or browse websites, and it acts as an interface between the user and the World Wide Web. Right now I am the user, and if I want to connect to World Wide Web to access any document, then my server when my browser will be the interface. A web server is a computer that stores websites documents, their related files for viewing on the internet. Some of the advantages associated with networking, why we are creating network. One big advantage is sharing of data. If we have data in one computer, we can easily share it with another computer without using pen drive or any other thing. Directly we can send the data. So one of the most important uses of networking is to allow the sharing of data. We can transfer files. Users can send text file, spreadsheet, document, presentation, audio file, video file to other users directly. We can share the hardware also. I just told you that if we have 10 computers in the lab and we want to buy one printer for all of them, we can do this. We can connect all the computers and we can connect one printer with them. So instead of purchasing multiple printers, we have to purchase only a single printer. So hardware components, for example, printer, scanner, can also be shared with multiple computers. For example, instead of purchasing 10 printers for each user, if we have 10 computers, we can buy one printer and share it with multiple users, saving the cost. Internet access sharing, you can purchase a single internet connection and share it with other computers. This is done in cyber cafes. So instead of purchasing multiple internet connection from multiple computers, this we can do. This is very commonly found in the internet cafes, these browsing centers. Schools and colleges and companies also do the same thing. We buy one connection and we connect it to the Wi-Fi, and with Wi-Fi we can use multiple devices through it. Usage of network based applications. We have different applications which work only on network or internet. For example, web browsers work on internet. Email client softwares for managing the emails are the softwares which are in our computer to manage the email. They also work on, for example, Gmail app, that is one email client software. Chat applications like Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Google Messenger, Google Chat. These also are based on network or internet. Audio and video calling is also based, so it is also one another advantage. Getting access to the internet. To use the internet, we need to have an internet connection. Internet connections are provided by the companies, and these companies are called internet service providers. For example, BSNL, Bharat Sanchar Nigam Limited, Airtel, MTS was one company which was before. Vodafone, Tata Docomo, Idea, Jio, Reliance, these companies were there. These are called internet service provider or ISP. An internet service provider is a company or an organization which provides us with access to the internet. There are two methods: dial-up connection, means using modem, or direct connection using hardwire. Or nowadays we are going for wireless connection also. So choosing the connectivity that you want depends on the availability of the particular technology. Suppose previously I was using wireless technology for broadband services called WiMAX, because wired facility was not available in my locality. So it totally depends upon the availability. Whatever the speed you want, if you will go for wireless connection, you will have low speed, and if you want to go for wired, you will have good speed and the connection type that is available in your area. Usually small and medium businesses, home users, we use connectivity, for example DSL, direct subscriber line. Sometimes we use cable modem, sometimes we use dial-up connection, sometimes we use broadband, wireless broadband. WiMAX, we use 3G also. Medium to large business users or customers who are demanding more high speed, they may use high speed connections. For example, DSL, it is a very high speed connection. ISDN. Modem, I think you all have studied about modem. Modem is a device that converts digital computer signals into analog signal. As the name suggests, it is modulator and demodulator. So computer signals are in the form of digits called digital signal. They cannot be transferred or transmitted. So we need one device to convert this digital signal into analog signal so that it can travel over the phone lines. Now again, when we send the data, it reaches to the computer where we wanted to send. Here again there is a problem that computer cannot understand the analog signal. So here again analog signals are decoded into digital signals. So it also reconverts the analog signal back into digital signals so that computers can understand it. The word modem is derived from its function. It does two functions, modulation and demodulation. Types of common internet connectivity. There are different types of internet connectivity which are available today. It can be widely categorized easily into two types, that is wireless or wired. The table given here is a summary of different types of internet connectivity which are categorized into wired and wireless. Dial-up is wired, DSL is wired, cable internet connection wired, 3G is wireless or 4G wireless, WiMAX is wireless. We have to install one WiMAX device at our home, and Wi-Fi is wireless. Some of the most commonly used internet connectivity are: first one, dial-up. So dial-up internet access is a form of internet access that uses the facilities of the public switched telephone network (PSTN) to establish a connection to an internet service provider. This is not used now. Here we use the connection of telephone to connect to the internet. It was very much old. So this ISP, internet service provider, using telephone line, using a device that we use, modem. Users dial a particular number that is provided by the ISP and gain access to the internet. Dial-up connections are extremely slow, and in most cases it is now replaced by a high-speed connection, for example DSL, digital subscriber line, or cable modem. So DSL, digital subscriber line, provides internet access by transmitting digital data over wire of the telephone connection. Suppose you had one telephone connection at home, wired connection, not wireless. So you can use this for internet access also. DSL service is delivered with the wired telephone service on the same telephone line that you are using. So your personal number at home can be used to access the internet also. So on the customer premises, means the house of the customer, a DSL filter removes the high frequency interference and enables simultaneous use of telephone and data at the same time. You can use it for calling also, you can use it for accessing the internet also. Now for using a DSL connection, you need to have a DSL modem and subscription through the company. Cable internet access. Cable internet access is a form of broadband internet access using cable. Your cable provider was doing this. They were providing you internet connection that uses cable television infrastructure, means cable wire infrastructure, to transmit the data. So it is provided through existing cable TV network, wire cable TV network. It is similar to DSL because it is provided through telephone line, and here we are using the cable connection, cable wire, to do so. 3G is short for third generation. It is a set of standards used for mobile devices and mobile telecommunication services and network. Now we have left 3G also, we have moved to 4G now. High speed downlink packet access, HSDPA, is a 3G mobile telephony communication protocol that allows higher data transfer speed and capacity. Before 3G we were using 2G. 2G was also used for internet connectivity. If support for 3G is available on your mobile phone, like we have for 4G also, you can subscribe to the 3G connectivity with your internet service provider in order to get high speed internet connection. WiMAX, Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access, is a wireless communication standard that is designed to provide mobile broadband connectivity through cities and countries. You have to install one device at your home, and that device will get connected to one tower, and this tower will provide the internet connection. It is actually wireless broadband connection. WiMAX is a long range system. It covers many kilometers and is typically used where DSL or cable internet access cannot be used. I just told you that before 3 to 4 years before I was using it, WiMAX, because cable internet access was not available in my area, so I had to install WiMAX, and it was connected to the tower wireless, and it was providing me the connection. But there are so many problems, like it loses the network if we have strong flow of air, wind. So there are some problems. This could be difficulty in laying out cables for homes or offices in remote locations, means area which is far away. But we need to access the internet. There we will use WiMAX. Now in home, for small homes, we use Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is a popular technology that allows any electronic device, for example computer, mobile phone, to exchange data wirelessly without any wire over a network. If we have high speed internet connection, so we can connect our multiple devices using Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi devices, for example, personal computer, smartphone, video game console, can connect to any network resource, for example, internet, through wireless access point (WAP). Wi-Fi is used where cables cannot run, for example, in old building, outdoor areas, in our home also. If we don't want to go for cables everywhere, so we will use Wi-Fi. So where we require mobile connectivity, means where we don't want to go for wires, wherever we want we can use it, so we go for Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connectivity is used in home, offices, hotels, college, school campus for accessing the internet. Shopping malls also, coffee shops, resort, they offer free sometimes or sometimes paid access to the Wi-Fi for their customers. Data transfer on the internet. We talked about data transfer, file transfer, document transfer over the internet from server to the client computer. So we have talked so much about data transfer and the internet. Have you ever wondered how sitting in one corner of the world you can get information from another distant area from US in a few seconds? So in a very simple language, let's see what happens to a piece of data. Means suppose a web page, means data of a web page, the HTML document of a web page, the multimedia of the web page, when it is transferred over the internet. So data or the files are transferred in the form of packet of 200 KB, 100 KB, 500 KB, 1000 KB, 1 MB. So each packet is sent from computer to computer until they find their destination where they have to go. Each computer on the way decides where next to send the packet. Suppose I have 10 computers, so one computer will send to second, then third, then fourth, then fifth, it will go, and the computer which needs it will retain it back and it will not leave it for another computer. So all packets may not take the same route. Different routes are taken by multiple packets. At the destination, means at the computers, the packets are examined. If they need the packet, then they take it, otherwise they leave it. If any packet are missing or damaged also, a message is again sent asking for the packets to be resent. This continues until all the packets have been received and you have got the file. So a file of suppose 1000 KB will come here in multiple packets of 100 KB each. So 10 packets we will need. The packets are now reassembled into their original form at the destination computer. All this is done is in milliseconds, so you are not able to know that this much is going on. To access the internet, you need an active internet connection. Whatever connection you want to go for, Wi-Fi, WiMAX, or 3G, or you want to go for DSL or dial-up connection. You need to gather and understand your requirement very carefully before you subscribe to any internet connection plan. In this exercise, we will learn how to choose an internet connection. So when you are trying to go for internet connection, some of the common questions that will come in your mind, and these will help you in your decision. What is the purpose of getting this connection? Why are you getting internet connection? What is the usage? Will you use the connection regularly? or will you use it for one part of the day only? How much data will be downloaded on average per month? If you're going for high data, then you can go for high speed also. How much speed do you need? What technology is available in your particular area? Suppose we don't have cable connection in my area, so I will go for WiMAX. What are different plans which are available from your internet service provider? So less costly plans will have less speed and high cost plans will have high speed. And is there any limitation or catch for selected plan? Suppose download limit that you can download till 500 GB only or 100 GB only, and then after that your speed will reduce. So you have to check these things. So you have to use the following things, and you can compare different subscriber plan to get an estimate and analyze if you would what will suit your 3D 3G DSL cable internet or WiMAX. These are internet service provider options. If you have internet connection and you want to use that for multiple devices at your home, then you can go for Wi-Fi. To access Wi-Fi, you need an access point and you need an active internet connection through your ISP. Usually when you subscribe to internet connection, the ISP provides this option to purchase or rent a Wi-Fi router that can both act as an internet connectivity device and access point for the Wi-Fi. So we use only one device, that is router and modem, both combined together. If you want to set up a Wi-Fi network, then you need to have some technical expertise. However, you can access the Wi-Fi network by connecting to any access point directly. That is already set up. You need to just get the password, open the Wi-Fi, and then you can connect to access those access points which are already set up for use. On computers that run on XP, you can view the list of wireless networks available by using the following. You can just click here and then you can view available wireless networks. So right click on the wireless icon, this one, in the system tray, and you have to click on view available wireless networks. Now Windows XP will display the list of available Wi-Fi networks. You can choose any of the following. By double clicking on the name displayed on the list, you have so many options available. You may be prompted to enter a password if it is the selected network is password secured. Mostly these are password secured. You will receive a confirmation that you are connected to wireless network. Now the system is ready to use for network related applications. You can use Firefox, you can use Chrome, Skype. Okay, so our chapter is complete. We have some questions here.